All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Good to have you here. I'm Dr. Enahoro, and I'll be hosting this show. Welcome to Workplace Wisdom. Workplace Wisdom, the first edition for 2026. I'm excited to be here again. Workplace Wisdom is that show where we deal with very, very controversial issues about work and give you the wisdom to manage those kind of issues. In the past, we have dealt with issues like sexual harassment. Can I remember some now? They elude me, but we've dealt with some very, very powerful topics. And today we're going to be dealing with another interesting one, which has to do with romance at work. Romance at work. And I think that's a very, very interesting program. So I'll wait for people to come in. As you're coming in, please go to the comment section. Tell us where you're joining in from and what you would like to learn from today's session while we wait for our guests. So welcome to Workplace Wisdom Show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, everyone. If you can hear me, kindly go to the chat and let me know you can hear me. If you can hear me, please go to the chat and confirm that you can hear me. I'm waiting. Welcome, 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 everyone. If you can hear me, please go to the chat. All right, I see a comment. Thank you. At Do Shango Praise. Shango Praise. I hope I didn't murder your name. Welcome, everyone. We're still waiting for our guests to come in, but I'll kickstart the show in a few seconds. If you're just coming in, please go to the chat and type in there, where are you logging in from? Where are you watching from? We'd like to have an idea of where people are watching from. So where are you watching from? Lagos. Hey, hi, Shion Shufora. Good to have you here. Thank you for joining in. We're starting the beat. All right. So today we're talking about romance in the workplace. Romance in the workplace. Is it a risk or does it have some reward? So for those of you that are dating, you will be telling us today if it is a risk or a reward. But let me start with a story. My story. Now, it is not a story of romance in the workplace, right? But it's a story of romance in school. So I happen to have met my wife in 100 level in school, 100 level during tutorial, 100 level. And from the day I saw her, I started asking her out, right? And we were in the same class. We started dating. We were in the same class, studying accounting together. We go to the same fellowship in school, right? We go to the same fellowship in school. So imagine dating someone, you're in the same class with the person, and you go to the same fellowship, with the person. So everybody knows me, and everybody know that this is Enahoro and this is Sheon. In fact, they gave her a nickname. They call her Sheon, right? So the school dynamics is a bit different. right? How many of you dated in school and you ended up marrying the person you dated? Anybody here like that? Anybody here like that? You dated in school and you ended up marrying the person you dated. So this is what happens when we're doing exam in school. Once my lecturer sees myself and Sheon in school, they will separate us. They say, you leave that place, you leave that place. Like practically they will separate the two of us. If we're in class, a lecturer will just come in and say, two of you are sitting again. You stand up, you stand up. And they were telling her that you are following this guy. This guy is a bad boy. He will just use you and dump you. And I wonder why they were saying that. Eventually we got married. And the lecturers that realized that we got married, no, this is what happened. By 400 level, the people that were telling her that she should not follow me, that I'm a bad boy, they started telling her that this guy is a good man. This guy is a good guy. Don't leave him home. You've been with him since 100 level, and this is 400 level. You guys are about to graduate. He's a good person. Don't leave them. Now, that is school. 4 years. How is that different from the dynamics of workplace? Workplace. So if anybody is here, if you're on the chat and you dated somebody from school and you eventually married the person, like a good man like me, I want you to let us know in the chat box. So our guest is around, Shola Odeyinde. She's a professional in HR, a senior human resource professional, right? Senior. She's also a life coach. And she's a senior HR leader with Flour Mills, a subsidiary of Golden Penny. She was in Ahmadu Bello University. She's been recognized as the top 100 career women in Nigeria. That was in 2022. She's all about career development, HR strategy, talent management. And so when it comes to HR, when it comes to coaching, she's a very, very experienced person. And guess what? She has had office relationship that led to marriage. So help me welcome our guest for today, Coach Shola Odeyinde. Welcome, Coach. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I've been laughing a lot.
And I can. You see,
I've been laughing a lot.
I
Thank
had
you
an
very
experience
much.
in university, right? At school, we dated all through school, like all through. So we see each other in class. We go to the same fellowship. We're always together. People got tired. There are people practically got tired of us. If we're submitting a document, we're going together. If we're going to enter bus, we're going together. Like it was crazy all through school. But that's a different dynamics, right? I can't see your video anymore in case you click something. But today the dynamic is about workplace, work, dating at work. Let me do this. If you are dating somebody in your workplace, let us know in the comment section. If you are bold enough, let us know in the comment section. Say if you are proud of what you're doing.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. All right. And you know, recently in one of our organizations, two people got married and they work in the same company. We went for their marriage. It was very beautiful. And we usually tease the husband to say, all the while, you collect outstation to travel, that you have work to do. So this is what you used to go and do. So it will be an interesting discussion to see the dynamics of dating in the workplace and eventually getting married to the person that you were dating. I think that an easy way to start, Coach Shola, is how did you find yourself in that situation?
Good afternoon, Coach, and good afternoon, everyone. Depending on where you're joining from, thank you very much for. This topic is out of character for me.
I know, right? I know.
But I mean, well,
It
I had that
happened. I mean, it's real. So
it's real. It's real. It's a real life situation. So let's talk about it. Thank you so much, by the way. I know we've been talking
I have a
about this for a while.
So, wait. So is it out of character or it was real?
No, it's for me, right? Not for everybody. For me, because I've been known to speak about serious matters. This one is more like office romance. You need to see how the reaction has been when I put it up on my status. The reaction has been, you
You say,
know,
"Ah, this serious coach
interesting.
Shola." Mhm.
Eh?
It's a serious coach Shola. But
I'm
I mean,
telling you, like,
it is,
how are you the one speaking about this topic?
it is what it
But I'm
is.
thinking about it because a lot of times, again, people didn't know that I met my husband at work. So maybe it's a good opportunity to share, you know. But I did say also that mine wasn't office romance,
Okay.
majorly because we were not really dating, if you get what I mean, in the
Mhm.
office, but we picked up the
I'm trying to
relationship.
get what you mean. Yeah, I'm trying to get what you mean. So explain.
Okay. So I'll explain it. So we worked together, my husband and we
Okay.
worked together in a consulting organization. And he was the IT administrator, you know. It was actually my first major job. And I was like the HR, coordinator, recruitment coordinator, so to speak. And of course, colleagues now, you get to see each other every day. In fact, the
Yeah.
workplace is where you spend the most of your time. You probably spend more time at work than you spend with your family on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So yes, and of course there are many colleagues, but there will always be that colleague that will come close. And the funny thing is, if you know me at work, I'm always like serious mode, you know. So I didn't even pick any signal around him, but he was, like I always joke, my system was constantly breaking down and I constantly needed IT intervention.
I see.
Honestly. So, and it was so funny that, IT people, when you say, oh, your system is down or is malfunctioning, they will almost always tell you to turn off to restart.
It starts. Yeah.
So, a lot of times I've done the restart, but the issue was still there. And guess what? When he comes, he will still tell me to restart and the system will work. And I'm like, is this magic?
IT
Honestly,
guy.
but anyway, that was the kind of interaction we had because I mean he was in IT and I was in HR. So you normally would be when you need IT in support that you would call for help. And that was where, we first really
Start.
got started. But from time to time I would notice that he would stay a little longer in the office. And we were all gisting. I didn't have a private office. It was more like, I shared office with someone and
Mm.
we were, always gisting together. It wasn't about me at all. When did it start looking like something, beyond colleagues? I remember one of my birthdays, he bought me a birthday cake. And if you know my husband, you would really, he's a lover man. So he just really gets close to everyone.
Mm.
Like he really takes people personal. So you would not even really think you're special. And he
Yeah.
always had a nickname for everyone. For me, for some reasons, he took my middle name. So he called me Toast. My middle name is Toasting. So he
Mm.
always called me Toast. And on my birthday cake, it wasn't anything like happy birthday, any intimate name. It was more like happy birthday toast. But
Mm.
why would the birthday cake come from him, if you get what I mean? And
Yeah.
then that was when colleagues started making insinuations and all of that. We all laughed it off, including me, because there wasn't any clear message, or just the body language, really. But again, when it got a bit clear that we're going to pick up this friendship because of course sometimes we would walk to the bus stop together. Sometimes on Sunday I was a triangle from school to church to work home. So at times I had invited him to church, he had attended church, and then weekends that was opportunity for us to see weekends and all of that. But when it was clear that we were going to be dating, And it was also clear in the office policy that you cannot have relationships in the office. It was clear. So we knew that if you were taking this to the next level, you can't be colleagues. And it was a conversation that held, and really and truly, it wasn't about you go or you go, but another opportunity opened up. He was the one that actually had to leave the organization. So when we really picked up the relationship on a romantic level, like dating and courting, he was already out of that office. But it was 2 years being colleagues, working with him. And it was good 2 years to build friendship, because then I established friendship. Then I knew who he was without really, trying to show anything, because, in the office is where you are really yourself. In fact, I think apart from in your marriage with your spouse, you really truly show yourself in the office, because you can't pretend for too long. You're constantly there in the faces of your colleagues, and so they know you that much. So I had known him that much, in the good times and in the bad times. Many, special occasions, not special occasions, but there were many, times I could recall that I saw that this person, I could see the character, you know. And at that point, it wasn't like, oh, you're dating or anything. But I remember that my office mates or neighbor used to say, okay, she started saying it to say, don't throw stones, on glass houses, because you don't know. It was a joke she used to make. And that joke was that sometimes we teased him in his absence. Sometimes we said one or few things in his absence, and then imagine that we ended up together as lovers and now as a couple. So that's how we really kicked it off. That's how we kicked it off.
Okay, you can go.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Interesting.
Very well.
So it started from his work. He was sorting out your laptop, right? So if you're in IT here, one way to help anybody that you seem to be having any feeling for from IT is to be repairing their laptop. Give their laptop attention. Interesting. But do you think that the way work is today, the proximity that people have,
Yeah.
the fact that we have to share the same goal, share the same workplace value, and align to everything that is happening at work, don't you think that it gives opportunity for people to get closer and closer and closer together?
Of course. Of course. Like I said, the workplace is more like where you spend the most of your time. So if I wish there could be a survey, but imagine even in the WhatsApp group we both belong to, when you got the idea to have this conversation, you just dropped it in there. You saw the number of people who had,
I was shocked.
you were shocked. I'm
Yeah,
sure if you put it out there, you will see that a lot of people met their spouses in the workplace, or even if they didn't meet spouses in the workplace, they must have either dated or been intimate with someone in the workplace. So it's our reality. If you're a 9 to 5 worker, you most likely, because the exposure at the workplace is really high. You're constantly meeting people, and you're with this same set of people on a daily.
every time.
So definitely, I believe that the workplace has a very high chances, of you engaging friendship first, and then maybe dating, or maybe even marriage. There are some organizations that till today not encourage, but they have it in their policy. You can actually work in the same organization as married couple.
Yeah.
Married organization, you can work as married couple actually, but you would not work.
All right. While waiting for Coach Shola's network to be back, if you hear if you hear, so my next question for her will be this, and that will be the same thing for everybody. If you hear that two people are dating at work now, right? You just hear that, oh, these two are dating. What would be your initial reaction? Will it be, oh, how sweet, oh, nice, how sweet? Or will it be, this one a problem, oh, this is serious wahala. Please, can you go to the chat and let me know what would be your initial reaction? Will it be, oh, how sweet? Or will it be, this is trouble? What will be your initial reaction? Especially to high-performing staff. What would be your initial reaction? Would it be, oh, how sweet? Or will it be, this is trouble, oh? Which of the two? What will it be for you? Afam says how sweet. So welcome back, Coach Shola. So my next question is, when you hear two people are dating at work now, you're a senior HR person, you mentor a lot of people, you coach a lot of people, and the two of them are in the same office, in the same company. Would it be, oh, how sweet? Or,
Can you see me? Can you hear me? Yes. I can't hear you.
I can see you. I can hear you.
Okay.
I can see you. I can hear you. Can you hear me now? It means you can't hear me yet. But you can, if you can hear me, please nod that you can hear me. Okay, she can't hear me. Can you hear me?
No. I can't hear you.
Okay. So she's having internet issues. Afam says, oh, how sweet. Ari Dun Nola Day, I think 1522 will be based on both parties' character. Onaha Luka says, this is sweet, but Omo Wahala. Adeyemi says, this is trouble. Oh. Kelechi say it will be an interesting topic for gossip. Can you imagine? Coach Timon, good to have you. Coach Timon says it will be depending on the personalities. Coach Shola is back. Can you hear me now? You can't hear me now. So what do we do to her mic?
I don't know if it's my network or yours, but I can't see you at your own end. I'm just seeing, blank.
I can hear you.
I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. Let me see. Can I chat you up?
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes. Can you hear me? Yes.
Clearly. Okay. So let's talk.
All right.
Let's see if.
So I'll ask you questions from your chat. If you can't hear me, and then we'll take it off.
Chat. Let me see. Okay, I see. I can see you. I can hear you.
Yeah. So I think it's your network. If you hear two people are dating, oh, she's out. So we have a challenge with our network. All right, let's continue with the comment. I'm hoping that she can hear me. So we're going to improvise with the comment section, since they all can hear us. Okay?
Okay, I can see you now. I think it should be better. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Good. I can see you. Thank you. So it's the internet.
Okay.
So if you hear from a senior perspective, from a senior position, HR coach and all of that,
yeah.
If you hear people are dating now, they come to tell you, or you hear, would it be, oh, how sweet? house it, or will it be, hmm, this is some disaster? What, from your position right now, what will it be?
So from my position right now, it's neither here nor there, but it's more like, oh, it's sweet to see when people, are, just really building up friendship and about to be married. I believe we're talking about to be married, not people who are married already in the workplace.
No, no,
So
no, no,
it's
no.
more like, oh, for me. However, my antenna will go high, of course, especially if they're in the same team, because based on the the policies in the workplace, you would also wear your HR cap to say, is this acceptable in your space where you work? If it's acceptable, why not? It's a beautiful thing to see. It's a beautiful thing to actually observe. But if it's not in line with the policy, as HR leader, of course, it will be a cause, not of concern, but a point of discussion,
Mm.
to say happening. And if it's really happening, what are your plans, in view of what the policy says? So, yes, it will spark up discussion, but it's people who are trying to, establish friendship, um, and, take the friendship to the next level. So it's an all for me.
Nice.
Yeah,
Seem like you
yes.
love it. So,
But who doesn't?
so usually these things start as friends. I can imagine a lot of
Yeah.
people on the call right now. Two friends, they meet themselves at the bus stop and they're going to work.
Mhm.
Somebody's caring for the other person. Oh, have you eaten? Somebody's in trouble. The other person is helping, and it's just platonic.
Mhm.
At what point would you say to employees, if you find yourself doing this, this, and this, then you need to draw the line because this might not be friendship anymore. And a lot of times, I think that people see, even when your intentions are not fully developed. What would you say? How would you advise somebody to say, if you begin to notice A, B, C, D, E, then it is time to ask yourself, what are we doing, and how do we draw the line? Yeah. What do you think people should watch out for?
Okay, so this is more like it's sounding like an epidemic. It's not totally bad to have a relationship or friendship. So I would say you should watch out for anything. Of course, let yourself, feel loved and also loved.
Mhm.
However, if you're so why would you watch out for? It will be because either you're married and someone is getting closer than should be, then watch
Mhm.
out. If you're single, why not? By all means, encourage it. Especially if you find that this person shares the same values as you do, um, beliefs as you do, and this person is your person. I mean, where else to develop friendship if not at the workplace? Because these people are people you relate with, you know, on a daily basis. So I wouldn't say watch out, but I would say that like I'm even the wrongest person to give that that advice because I'm normally very clueless when people are growing on you because a lot of times, your when your mind is not even going in that direction, it can be a turn off when um, you are assuming or you start thinking in a direction someone is not towards you
Mm.
and you're like, please, where is this relationship going? Um I feel like friendships will always grow, and when people really start singling you out, like giving you preference, you would know if you're sensitive because like I wrote a story in 2021. I shared it on my status this morning when I put up the poster to say that when people are being extra nice to you, you would know because you
Mhm.
know this person and you know this person is not naturally nice to other people. But when it's someone who is really kind, who is loving, who is like my husband would do the same for every other person. I mean, yes, at some point we have to say, where is the boundary really? The
Aha.
courtesy, the courtesy is he's a courteous person, he's a respectful person, he's a loving person, he's a kind person. And this is what you see, no matter who you are. So it was difficult for me to really see that my case is different, if you get what I mean. I
Yeah.
just thought this person is being himself, and truly he was, you know. So when do you start sensing that it's becoming more than just friendship? Like I said, he bought me a birthday cake in the office, and I'm like, yes. Not these days that people do a lot of birthday cake. I mean, this was many years ago. It was an extra gesture to buy a birthday cake for a colleague. So that I noted to say, okay. Um, then there's also a certain way people start to address you. You know, there is a certain way people start to call you or speak to you more than they normally would as friends, you
Yeah.
know. So sometimes some people just lead people on. They may like you, but they will not say it. They may
Yeah.
like you and know that they don't have a future with you, but they just keep leading you on. In
Yeah.
such situations, sometimes you need to just wear your be sensitive, and be cautious so that you don't release yourself to that feeling, and then it's not really what the other person is trying to send, the message is trying to send across, if you get what I mean.
I do. I do. Thank you.
Yes. So, but otherwise, please let your heart loose. Feel all the love.
Right.
Enjoy the love. If you're
Right.
single, it's a beautiful thing to do. And I think that your colleagues are the closest people to you. Aside if you build friendship in other, maybe church, or if you have a leisure, where you hang out. Because if not, where else would you, have enough time to know people for
No
who
people.
they are, not because they are trying to woo you and then
Mm.
they are trying to be nice. So for me, I really truly saw my husband as a normal colleague.
Mm-hmm.
Then I saw him as a friend before we
Mm-hmm.
even started, becoming lovers. And I think that was just great because I could say that to some good extent, I understood his character, and it
Yeah.
was good for me. Yeah.
I mean, the most beautiful part of it is that you guys got married. You have a very happy family today. So, do you think that this can inspire an employee can be more motivated at work because they are dating somebody at work? And by motivation, I mean engagement, ready to go to work, tasks to be done. And an
Even the
employee
way
be
you
more
are
motivated.
saying it, even the way you are saying it, you already know that the answer is a yes. It's so love is a beautiful thing. And if you want to stay around people that you love, right? You want to stay around the people who really affirm you, who really compliment you, who
Mhm.
really see you. You know what I mean? So yes and yes, I would say it can be a cause for motivation if you know that you have a someone who really admires you at work, or someone
Mhm.
who really loves you at work. It motivates because you really always you look forward to being in the presence of that person, in the face of that person, in
Yeah.
view of the person, in meetings with the person,
Yeah.
because it just makes you feel good. So yes,
You know what just came to my mind now? It
tell
also
me.
make you dress well to work.
Why not? Because you want to look your best all the
Correct.
time. Yes.
Hmm.
Yes, it makes you, it really puts you at your best at work. You want to dress well, you want to be there early, you want
Mhm.
to be in meetings with the person, you want to really just show yourself because this person is there and this person is giving you attention. You love the person admires you. So you want to give the person the more of who you are,
Yeah.
and vice versa. So yes, it can be a
Now,
cause for
there
motivation.
is the trouble, and Afam in the in the chat just mentioned what I was going to mention next.
Tell me.
When relationships end badly at work,
Mm.
that motivation that we're talking about is going to be a lot of
Yeah.
tension at work.
Yeah.
So, how would you? Not every dating, not every relationship would end up in marriage, and there's a possibility that because of one other lady, because of a boss, because of tension in the work, it is possible that the relationship would break. Right? Afam is saying when relationships end badly, tension spreads and affect the wider team. Elizabeth is saying if they break up, it
I
might
agree.
affect your performance harder if both parties are not matured. How? Because we
I agree.
know that there's a
I
possibility
agree.
of breakup. Breakfast is real. People they chop breakfast. So because we know that there's a possibility of breakup, why? Not every dating, not every relationship would end up in marriage. What would you advise such people to do? What would be the best matured pathway? Because it might affect both of them, or most likely affect one person. In my head, I am thinking it will affect the lady the more than the guy, because they say, even though I don't agree, ladies are more emotional. We Coach Shola is having another internet issue. So what Elizabeth has said it, Afam has said it. So what would be your advice?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. So what would be your advice?
Okay.
How should they
What would be
manage?
my advice? How do you manage breakup in the workplace? A tough one, I must say, difficult
Because
one.
you,
You know, the
you don't
way
have
you
that
felt
experience,
all
right?
good. Can you hear
You don't
me?
have you don't have that experience, so it might be difficult for you. But I mean, from HR perspective,
From HR perspective, confirm if you can hear me.
clearly,
Can you hear
I,
me
yes,
clearly? Okay, I will answer that question from as a professional first before a HR person, because really and truly we're looking at situations where it is permitted. That means it is permitted to date in the organization where you are. Because if it's not permitted, then there's really, it shouldn't be encouraged. If I know as a HR person and you're in the same team or in the same organization, the policy would always prevail. What does the policy say? However, if the policy really, you know, allows relationships to grow in the workplace and dating and even then, as a HR person, the support you can offer really and truly, because they are not wrong to be in relationship according to policy. So if that happens and you're privy to it, you are aware that these two people have broken up, especially if it's affecting performance. And it definitely will affect the individual, but not all the time will it affect performance, depending on your emotional resilience. But if it does affect performance, then it becomes a conversation, to engage. And there are many supports you can provide to people who find themselves in situations like that. Um, today we talk about mental health.
a lot.
Emotional health is also very critical. And in my workplace, for example, we have what we call the employee assistance program, where we always encourage employees to speak up. If you have something really bothering you, either in the home front or even at work, and it's really affecting your mental health or your emotional health, the employee assistance program is actually really there to support, to guide, and help you out of that situation. Um, if I were your line manager or your HR at that time, I can also offer other support. Please confirm you can hear me.
Clearly, clearly,
Can you hear
clearly,
me?
clearly, yes.
I can also offer other supports. I can give you time out. I can advise you to take some time off work. If you
Yeah.
need to clear your mind, if you need to clear your head, take your annual leave and just really go and sort yourself out. If you will feel better being at work, because some people would like to just distract themselves from what is going on, and they still want to show up at work as a means to that. Um, then I would like to know how I can support you. Not every time would people want you in their space as the HR person. You need their permission to be
Yeah.
able to offer any form of support that you can.
I like that. You need their permission. I
So
like that.
I think that you need permission to be in people's private spaces. If they grant you that permission, you can coach, you can, ask how you may be of help. But what is most important is if they open up to you, offer as much support as you can. As a line manager, as a colleague, and even as HR, really. So yes, that's it. Personally, if I'm not a HR person, there's a breakup and
Yeah.
this person is being affected by work. If I'm a friend or I'm just an observer who is a colleague, um,
Yeah.
well, and of course, I would like to know also if the person needs some time off. The advice would always be, what do you want to do? How do you want to manage this? Because it's beginning to impact on your performance, and it shouldn't. And those are the things that you can do to manage it.
I see your comments. Elizabeth is giving some powerful comments. You said redesign the person's work or redeployment to another unit can be considered. That will be considered by a very lovely HR. And I know, Elizabeth, you're a very lovely HR person. You also said they can be supported with time off. Coach Shola is back. Yeah, Coach Shola, you were rounding up that question.
Is it my network or your network? Because I don't understand.
I think it is yours, but it's okay. We're managing. We're good. So you were rounding up to say if you are just an observer.
Yes, to say I was rounding up to say there are downsides to this. Just like you have the positive, side, you also have the negatives. And this is one of it. You can't, shy away from the fact that not all relationships will go well. Some would
Yeah,
not go well. If they go well, that's fantastic. That means, it's able to mature or develop into something more long lasting.
hmm,
But honestly, if it doesn't go well, it also has its consequences. It will impact on you as a person. It will impact on your relationships, including work relationship and including the work itself. Because
yeah,
when you are not the best of yourself, you can't give what you don't have.
yeah,
So
yeah,
those are the downsides of being in a relationship in the office. Even
yeah,
married people go through the same. You come to work, you see people being very cranky, you know, and you're just wondering, you just came to work. What's going on with you? Is the baggage they brought from home, if you get what I mean. So when people are not healthy emotionally and otherwise, it will always show up in what they do and it will rub off on how they also relate with other people.
yeah.
So yeah.
Thank you. So just listening to you, two questions came to my mind. The first one would be, which one should be the first one? So one of them is, how should people then manage themselves and focus at work while dating? And that's on the basis of it is allowed. The
It's
second one
allowed.
would be, can a no dating policy, can it really work in today's workplace, today's way of work? Can a no dating policy work? You can take anyone first.
Can a no dating policy work? Yes, it can work. It can work in the sense that for the organization, it will work because once people then find themselves, it's always good to have policies across board that addresses things,
Mhm.
including things like this. So yes, that policy would work. just like in my own case, the organization I worked had that policy in place to say no dating is allowed. And what did we do? We had to part ways. We had to find alternative place to work. However,
Sorry to cut you. So that was not
if
even no
the
marriage. It was
organization
dating.
puts,
Sorry to cut you. So that was even no dating, right? So you had to
yeah,
part ways, even though it was not marriage yet. It was no dating, and somebody had to leave.
no dating,
Oh wow.
no dating, right? If the organization says no dating, it will work. If I hear you correctly, you're saying if there's
Yes,
a
yes.
policy of no dating, would it work? Yes, it will work. Because it simply means that when you find yourself in that mode, sometimes you either just step it down, you don't want people to know, you're just trying to cover it up, but for how long would that be?
But
But there should
sorry
be
to,
clarity as per the
you could be
policy
losing,
whether this is encouraged or not in the workplace. Can
but
you
you could
hear
be
me?
losing your future. You could be losing your future husband or future wife.
Huh? I didn't
You
hear
could
that.
be you could be losing your future husband or future wife.
Yes,
I mean,
now. So what you can do is to take the relationship outside. We want it be,
outside, right?
within the organizations.
Outside.
Yes. So you take it outside the office, meaning, um, so yes, if you put that policy in place, it just helps people know the boundaries. But a lot of times I know there are people who would still date within that organization, but you will never know. And how do you prove that people are dating? Anyways, how do you prove? You can
So,
only
Coach
be
Shola,
suspecting that these
yeah,
two people, there is something between them, but it's until you see truly what will be
yeah,
your evidence. Maybe they're exchanging emails. They will never do that on or on Teams chats, maybe,
yeah,
or all of that. So how would you even know? People have to tell you that they are dating.
they
But
are
when you
dating, right?
see people becoming distracted, unnecessarily close in the workplace, and
Mm,
you constantly see them together, I think I heard you sharing your story when you were in school between yourself and your wife. You were always sitting together. The lecturers will tell you to separate yourself. In the workplace, you can do something similar, but doesn't mean that they are dating. You can just see people really growing on each other, becoming close and friends and all of that. Doesn't mean they are dating. But as a boss, yes, or HR, you can say, these two people, I'm suspecting you, if you
mm.
get what I mean.
You know,
But they will never tell you they are dating.
yeah. For me,
Yeah.
so I usually say it openly because I've got a lot of single people, too many single people around at work, and they come to work every day. So I tell them, it's okay. In fact, if you want to marry yourself. I will secure a job for you. There are too many single people around, too many single ladies and too many single guys. I'm a people person, Shola. So I openly encourage it. But I know that if I see that it is affecting work,
Yeah.
I would be able to. I know how to call back and say, guys, you know what?
You know
This is
how
affecting
to.
your work.
Hmm.
I just believe that we need to encourage people, irrespective of, and like you said, they might be dating and it's outside work. It would be beautiful to learn that two people got married from the same workplace. So I'm all for it, but not for affecting work. And I think that with the young people, don't seem to be excited about marriage these days. I don't know what is
So
going
the,
on.
the second question you asked
Yeah,
around how should you be, right? How do you
manage
approach
it.
relationship in the workplace, right?
Yes, yes.
It will take a lot of maturity, to be honest.
Hmm.
I was advising my kids recently, and I said to them, you know, truly and indeed, when the feeling of love is a strong feeling, and if you let yourself into it, you had better be ready for it. Because if you're not ready for it and it's not yet time, there's really time for everything. And I was
Yeah.
sharing my story with them, how I never had a relationship till I was 7, because I really made up my mind I wasn't going to have any emotional relationship in school. because I had seen where people were like really totally ruined being in relationship in secondary school. You know, it was happening right in my presence. And I saw how everything you tried to do to stop it was escalating it the more. You know, so I said, if this is really love, I don't think I want to be totally out of control, you know, or yes, out of control until I can really, you know, be ready for that. So I made up my mind I wasn't going to do that. So now it's not easy really to really be yourself in a professional environment while you are involved emotionally with another person. It takes a lot of maturity, it takes a lot of discipline, takes a lot of boundaries, you know, for you to really just keep your focus and still remain professional and also ethical, you know, in the workplace while you're dating. So that's it for everyone. And people differ. There's some people just really cannot help themselves, while some people, you know, have that level of control. But in all, remember that you're still in the workplace, and so you just really need to keep it professional at all times. Um, know when it's time to work, and don't let this feeling or relationship be a distraction to the job. Yeah, so that's the much I can say.
So as we begin to round up, for you, it is okay.
Yeah.
I mean, let love flow, right?
Yes.
However, people should be matured about it. You must keep
Yeah.
analyzing.
Yes.
Ensure that you take the love outside the office. No PDA, no public display of affection at work.
No. PDA is a no-no. Because
Mm,
why?
mhm. Yeah,
You
but some
know,
people like
because why? I have
to
worked in environments where, and you know, our generation is very interesting. I've also worked in environments where people just really act this thing, but there's really nothing between them, if you get what I mean. You
mm,
know, but we are talking about when this becomes consistent and you're constantly in a public display of affection for who exactly, and in the workplace
pepper,
it's just really
pepper
not
people.
professional.
Mm.
It's really not professional.
So
And I
takeaways.
really do not think that people should work in the same space when they are dating. When I say the same space, I mean the same team. There
The
could
same thing.
be a lot of downsides to it. Yes, in the same team. I mean, like maybe you're the boss and the other person is in your team, or both of you work in the team together, even as peers,
Mm,
right? There would be, you know, those boundaries will not be there. But if you work in the same organization, like in my own case, you work in IT, I work in HR. We don't sit in the same space, if you get
mm.
what I mean.
So
We
that's
actually
management.
really do not see ourselves unless there is need for it.
Yeah.
And I don't just come and say, "Where are you? I want to see you," if you get what I mean. So
Mhm.
I don't know, maybe during lunch, people can take lunch and take a walk to, you know, the canteen or how wherever the eating area is, but there would always be that temptation to hang on a little longer than usual, which again in itself is encroaching into your official work hours and a
Yeah.
whole lot. So that's why that discipline just really needs to be there. But if I were to advise organizations who love to see love grow in
Mm,
their environment, you
mhm.
just also need to be careful because the downsides would definitely, you know, always creep up. And that's like losing focus, paying
Yeah.
attention to these things more than you would pay to your work, even during the work hours. It can be highly distracting. That is the truth.
Okay. So I'm
So,
taking some of our takeaways, right? It's okay. So I'm taking it that if you were in charge, you would allow dating, but it will come with certain clauses,
I can
right?
hear you.
Um, you can't hear me.
I can hear you. I didn't hear that.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So I'm taking it that as a professional, you would allow dating, but with certain clauses. It cannot be in the same team or inside the same
As a
workspace.
professional, what?
You would allow dating in the office, but with certain clauses, right? Like you
Yes.
will not be the same space, you will not be in the same team, and it will not be
Yes.
superior subordinate relationship.
Yeah. As a professional, I will put the boundaries there, and the boundary in my policy would be that you should dating should I mean should not be within the same team. People should not be in the same team dating, either
Mhm.
as peers or even as boss to direct reports, because there'll be conflict of interest there. Or even like you're the HR person, you're dating someone in the organization, or or like you're in a compliance role. Let me use compliance role. Um, if you're in a role that you're constantly having to compromise, some certain standards or policies because you have someone who that policy must not impact negatively, it's
Yeah.
a call for concern. So compliance roles is a no-no. A boss to direct report role is conflict of interest would arise.
Mm.
Peers within the same team, conflict of interest would arise, distractions would arise, lack of focus would be there, definitely. Payroll, maybe, roles that you know, there are some roles that you really have to be highly accountable, ethical,
Yeah.
professional, no strings with anyone. Yeah, I put those boundaries there just so that the negative or adverse effects don't
Don't
impact,
affect the
if you get what
organization.
I mean.
I do. I do. I do. We've got a lot of comments. I just like to read a few, especially when we're talking about how do you manage. So Kelechi says you have to open up to you before, yes, they have to open up to you before they can truly help them. Else, as a HR, you have to stand on policy regarding productivity. AFAM says employees should know upfront what is allowed, except expected and restricted. Shegun says, my take, communicating deeply with a free heart can be helpful when two lovebirds in an organization are having a rough time in their relationship. Healthy communication will help big time.
I can't
Those say,
hear you.
those says my previous work banned dating and marriage between employees. A number of marriages had already happened between colleagues. Then one day the policy of banning came up. Wow. Interesting. Um, Afam again says they must agree in advance on how they have to behave professionally if the relationship ends. I think what we're taking away today, but looking at what I said when I said that a lot of single people at work, I personally think that organizations should allow it. So presently, your organization, is it allowed? I I don't I can't hear Coach Shola anymore. We have 1 minute, 1 minute to go. It's been a very deep conversation, and I'm sure that a lot has been learned today. If you are dating, you must have taken something away. Good to have you back, Coach Shola.
Thank
Um,
you.
yeah, so the takeaway is it is okay to allow dating. I was going to put you on the line to say your present organization. So what's the policy?
I said it earlier. So in my organization, there is no policy on dating, but
Okay.
um, I know that we have couples who work in the same organization. It's not against the policy for
Mm,
couples who work together, but you can't work in the same team.
okay.
So you can have someone in marketing and another person in finance or HR or all of that.
Yeah.
So it's a big organization, so that contact is hardly there, you know.
Nice.
But
We
I
should
think
say the
above
word.
all is your performance should speak for itself. Whether you're
Yeah.
dating or you're married or it's not my business, just do your work if you get
Do
what
your
I
word.
mean.
Right.
As long as
Right.
you're doing your work, you're delivering value and you're not showing any signs of, mental health or emotional issues
Challenges.
growing, it's fine by my organization right now.
All right. So, what are our takeaways today? I think you and I are aligned that we should allow people date at work, but
Yes,
again, we should ensure that it is done maturely, professionally, and they should try as much as possible to take it outside work and not do PDAs, public display of affections. Give themselves, those kind of, signs at work, and not put it in people's face
yeah,
that we're dating. Um, we've also said that if you find out as a senior person or a colleague that two people are dating and they've broken up and is affecting them, step in. If they allow you, I like that phrase when you say if they permit you, to come in. HR should request for permission. That's a very powerful coaching statement. So if they allow you, encourage them, advise them. I like the one you said when you said you can even give them time off. Time off.
yeah, yeah,
Give somebody
to
time off.
heal,
Play
yeah, to heal
their
or
mind,
recover.
and recover. It's crazy, but it's okay to recover from the breakup. We live in a world today where there are a lot of single
Absolutely.
people, and yes, it's good to allow love flow at work, but be cautious. So it's been another interesting episode of Workplace Wisdom, and I'm hoping that people have taken some wisdom away, especially from somebody who has experienced it in one little way or the other. Coach Shola has a very happy family. I know her husband. We do business together, and it's interesting to know that that's how all of it started. So the AFAMs of this world, no, AFAM is married, I know. All of you that are not married that are on my chat, you know our policy, right? It's allowed.
My question to them is, what are they waiting for?
What are they waiting for? Right? Too many single people. Just too many single people.
Like, have they not seen someone after many years?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The ladies are saying that the guys are not serious. The guys are not even showing any sign of we're ready for marriage. I don't know what's going on. So,
I have to tell you also, coach, that a lot of times we disregard, okay? We do not respect or we do not see potential in the people who work with us, especially when they are our peers or when we are colleagues. And I think that is also one of the reasons a lot of people are not making that connection in the workplace.
it's a
Because
finish. It's a finish. It's
yeah, see,
a loss.
sometimes we finish. Some other times it's more like, how can this person who is earning about the same thing as I do, if you get what I mean?
How would
That's
you take care of me if we earn the same
you know
salary?
what I mean. They want people who have made it.
That's the ladies. That's the ladies. Oh, not the guys. That's the ladies.
So guys, I agree with you, mostly guys. And
Hmm.
then I think also that guys sometimes maybe don't find the courage to really, and that's why it's good to build the friendship before the relationship, if you get what I mean.
So that
So
you can have courage.
connection is not happening a lot because people just really disregard the people around them. In the A colleague was joking with me this morning, and he was saying to me that, so we asked you to go and walk and you went to date man, and he said, and the person everybody is doting on you went home with. And I said, really and truly, um it's a large workforce and this person is there, nobody has taken, and nobody has also considered this person as a potential, to date or to marry. And I think that's what happens all the time. You just don't see the potential because you see this person commonly on a daily, and you don't see that there is possibility of a future with the person. So it's like open your eyes and
Open your
look.
eyes, guys. Open your eyes, ladies. Ladies, don't think that because you know your the salary of your colleague, they can't marry you and take care of you. You
Absolutely.
don't know what will happen now. You don't know what's going to happen next year. And guys, don't do see finish. The fact that you're seeing a lady, see the way she dresses to the office, by the time you see her go for party, you know, she's going to look totally different. And you're going to be like, wow, you understand?
You can
So
say that again.
let's save the earth. Let's save marriages. A lot of organizations, I believe, are open to it. What we should do is, Kelechi is saying, my takeaway is don't date someone in your team where there may be conflict of interest. What I'm going to add to it is, if you find yourself falling in love with that person, don't stop it. Just take it outside the office. Be so secretive that nobody would know. And be
You
very...
really want this love, Joe. Coach.
No, people should love. People should love. I mean, you have too many single people around you. They should people are getting to late 30s and they're not married. I got married at 28. I mean, people are in their late 30s, ladies, guys, they're not married. I don't, like you said, what are they waiting for? What are they waiting for? I don't know. What are they waiting for? With 6 minutes past time, the takeaway today is we allow love flow, but we should be matured and professional about it. And I think that a lot of companies should take what we agree on, Shola. We should allow people because they spend 8, 9, 10 hours together. There's no way
not more than that even.
Will not happen. And so it is left for them to be professional about it. Thank you so much, Coach Shola. It's been another interesting conversation with you. This is your second Workplace Wisdom Show, if I remember.
Yes, it is.
Always a crazy topic. The last one, I think it was second.
Office politics.
Office politics, yes, office politics. And it was interesting too. Our next Workplace Wisdom Show topic would be what to do when your take home is not taking you home, or what to do when your organization is not taking you home. What should you do? Yeah, that's going to be our next topic. Thank you very much, everyone. Coach Shola, they are saying thank you. Follow Coach Shola on Instagram. Powerful, experienced HR professional. She's a life coach. She's a senior HR person. She's helping people get jobs and, there's book review with friends. She's a convener of book review with friends. Coach Shola, if people want to join book review with friends, how do they go about it?
Instagram? Just follow us. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. We have a policy that you must have joined our reviews at least twice to come into the platform. Yeah, great. If you follow us online, you'll get the details there. Thank you so much, Coach. Yeah, you're phenomenal. I'm being coached by the best,
Book review with friends online. Yeah. Follow the platform. Follow Coach Shola Odeyinde on Instagram. Join book review with friends. You would, for those of you that don't like to read, one of the best places to be is book review with friends. You would be, it's not encouraged. You will find yourself reading. I don't want to use you'll be first. You'll find yourself reading. And if you do like 6, 8 books in a year, I mean, that's something to take away. That's powerful. All right. So please join book review with friends and follow Coach Shola. Coach Shola, thank you very much. Good to have you.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Enjoy the rest of your
day. Thanks, everyone. Bye. Yeah.
And thank you for coming, everybody. Thank you. Bye.